Look back to this energy crisis because it seems the overriding policy by many in the government and most in the coalition, too frightened to speak out, the policy seems to be ABC, anything but coal. So scramble around with every latest piece of folly when we've got enough coal in the ground and enough technology to service Australia with clean coal-fired energy for years and years to come. The latest fashion is hydrogen. To that in a moment. But make no mistake, this is a key. This is about more than energy policy. I've told you many times, and I could cite many, but I'll just take this Ottmar Edenhofer. He's an official of this mob, the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. In 2010, he told us, and I quote, "We were warned, quote, it's a big mistake to discuss climate policy separately from the major themes of globalisation. The climate summit," he said, in Cancun, is not a climate conference, but one of the largest economic conferences since the Second World War. Economic conferences. Edenhofer, an official of this crowd whose utterances are treated as biblical truth, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Edenhofer went on, cop this, "We've been warned, quote, one has to free oneself from the illusion that international climate policy is environmental policy. This has almost nothing to do," he said, "with environmental policy anymore. One thing," he said, "has become increasingly clear. In the near future, climate policy will redistribute the world's wealth." Unquote. How are Australian politicians and businesses sucked in by this rubbish? And now the buzzword is hydrogen. Only yesterday we learnt that the oil and gas giant BP, quote, has made one of its biggest bets on producing green hydrogen after buying into Western Australia's US $36 billion, which is 52 billion Australian, Asian renewable energy hub in the Pilbara, with plans to become a major exporter of the alternative green fuel. But we leave the coal in the ground. You see, even a giant like BP has bought into this business anything but coal. BP reckons it wants to control 10% of global hydrogen markets. I've said many times, don't think because executives have money that they have brains. But we're told this is, quote, one of the biggest hydrogen and renewable energy projects under planning in the world. And the 6,500 square kilometre site will cover an area 10 times the size of Singapore. The project was designed, we're told, to include 1,753 wind turbines, made in China, of course, and up to 10,800 megawatts of solar capacity, the panels made in China, of course, spread over a total area of more than 660,000 hectares northeast of Portland, unquote. And apart from anything else, we're told the Pilbara hydrogen project is driven, quote, by the urgency to rapidly decarbonise the global economy, unquote. That's shorthand for boot out coal because carbon dioxide will destroy the world. It's an infantile argument. CO2 is the source of all plant life.